Corey, transitioning, PropQuest has been an ESOP for a long time. You've been with the company about 5 years now. Can you just touch on some of the things that you've seen and that you've learned about what's made PropQuest a successful ESOP over such a long time?
Absolutely. So since day one, when PropQuest was founded as an ESOP, they wanted to work for them. They knew that they wanted to work for themselves. At the time, they didn't truly understand the benefits of an ESOP, but being employee owners, we see a great benefit from a sense of responsibility to each other, as well as a new level of productivity. We're independent, but we still understand the value of a team. And I think there's 3 words that come to mind in helping with, over 30 years of being an ESOP. Transparency, communication, and culture, have been key. Transparency, share the information with your fellow owners, keeping open book financials. There's no need to hide or sugarcoat the challenges. They're going to get solved by the owners. Ensure that your owners understand that there's still an hierarchy in an ESOP, and it's important that you all get, the employees and owners fully involved in the decisions of the company. Going back to communication, teaching our employee owners about our business and continuing to teach them on an annual basis and year round. Utilizing our ESOP committees, celebrate the ESOP month, celebrate your vested employees, your life happenings. We get our spouses involved as well. We send out quarterly newsletters to our employees, owners, and spouses. They're a key part of our success as well. Culture and empowerment. When you work for we or us, it can make all the difference of the culture of a company. We celebrate our wins as a company, know your people and listen to their ideas. One of the most distinctive things I think we do as a company is we take what we call an ESOP incentive trip with our employees and our employee spouses. We take that every year in January. We've been to cold destinations like Breckenridge and Winter Park. We've been to Orlando and outside of the country on cruises in countries like Puerto Rico and Jamaica. But getting to know each other outside of work is completely invaluable. I think the last piece that I would probably touch on is, invest in your people, invest in their families. We do provide 100% paid health insurance, and we also have discretionary time off, which provides flexibility and more of a sense of ownership.
Any examples that you could give of just where people have bought into that ESOP culture and what it's maybe meant for the company over time?
I would think the longevity of our staff. We're going through a transition period now where we have, our charter members are retiring, and to see somebody who's been here with the company since the inception, 30 plus years is incredible. And to have them tell their stories of, why they love being an ESOP, why they love PropQuest, and to hear it from their families as well.
Lance, you've worked with a lot of companies in multiple different areas. If you could touch on maybe what you've seen that's attracted companies to ESOP and how you've seen some of that decision process play.
Yeah, and before I do that, can I ask Corey another question? Corey, when you think about the longevity, the 30-year person who is familiar with an ESOP versus Randy, who may be dealing with fairly new people to the concept of an ESOP, what have you learned about explaining, Corey, the ESOP idea that helps those newer staff get on board with it? Any
It's definitely, yeah, no, that's a great point, because with the younger generation, they don't truly understand the value of being ESOP until they've been vested and they feel it. But it's going back to that being transparent and showing them, where you could be at in 20 years, 30 years with your retirement. So it's really being open and honest with them, and showing them what the value of their business is, what the financials mean. And so it's really in the education piece of it.
Yeah, and helping them see that what's possible in their future.
Right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So, I think Corey, I would just one more on that. I mean, is that how much time and effort do you generally invest in trying to get people to understand that?
To understand that, it's a year-round thing, honestly. We touch base on it during new employee orientation, during regional meetings, in the off season. With our company newsletters that we put out on a quarterly basis. And so it's constantly in the forefront of our minds that we are an ESOP, we are employee owners, and it's empowering.
Yeah. Well, what we did at the beginning is we had been talking about the ESOP for quite a while, but I think we had some skepticism with our young people. in understanding that, because them to become an owner, what was in it for them. And so what we did was we took our forecast, a 10-year forecast, and we made a graph out of it, and we made it like a house mortgage. So everything looked like a house mortgage. So what happens in 10 years, and how does your stocks value and grow? And we compared it to a mortgage, which most people understand. So that's been a very, very good tool for us.
Corey, I'm just curious with your experience with ESOPs, just maybe, you know, and I know it's been a little while since probably ESOPs were new to you, but I'm just curious, you know, what did you find and learn that was maybe different or that just was eye-opening as you progressed in that education?
I would definitely say that the whole culture of people, you know, we are in a service industry, and all we have is people. You know, and I think the ESOP is ideal for organizations that rely on the performance of its people. And so it's about passion, and, you know, the ESOP encourages that teamwork and that accountability, where it doesn't necessarily do that in the corporate world that I've seen, you know, as much.
That's absolutely true.
Can I also add, and you sort of alluded to it, Nick, that we're all three of us as panelists are in, you know, outside of major metro areas and even in some fairly rural communities. And part of the difference there is that not only do you see your employees at work, but you see them at the grocery store, you're going to church with them, you know, you're involved in civic organizations, or your kids are involved in Little League together, or whatever. And that bond is often strengthened in that rural community. And again, that's why I think the idea of a tie to employees through an ESOP, that's why that's kind of powerful. Is I mean, Corey sees the people that work in her organization all over town. It's not just, and I'm guessing, Randy, you do too. I mean,
yes.
Yeah.